A few years ago, I was in Peoria on business, and we got back to the hotel after a late dinner. A colleague and I, one night, it was very dark, and the parking lot for this hotel, which was downtown, was behind the building, behind the hotel, and there was a large parking structure right next door. So it was sort of tucked in there, and it was poorly lit, and it was quite dark. About 9:30 or so, we got out of the car, and as I got out, this rather large man appeared from between the cars and approached me. And he offered to sing for me. And he explained that he had come to Peoria to audition for a gospel choir, this high-end professional gospel choir, but he had his wallet stolen. So he had no money, no ID, nothing. And he had been sleeping in the parking garage. But the nights were getting cold. It was bad for his throat, his voice, and he needed to get indoors. There was a homeless shelter he could stay at, but they required a photo ID. He had none. So he needed $20 to procure the ID to go stay at the shelter. His offer was this: he would sing for me, and if I thought that he was good enough to sing professionally in a gospel choir, perhaps I would give him a few dollars toward the 20 he was trying to raise. I have no idea why he thought I would be qualified to judge whether or not he was good enough. But of course I said yes. I mean, how can you pass that up, right? So he unleashed the most inspiring version of Amazing Grace. And his deep, silken voice reverberated off of the building walls, and it just filled the night air. It was truly special. When he finished, he told me a little bit more about his story. I gave him $20. We embraced. We went our separate ways. As I turned back to the hotel, I noticed that this small assortment of guests who had also arrived from various places and returned for the night had assembled outside and had watched this whole scene unfold. And this woman said to me, "That's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen." And I said, "Yeah, the guy is really talented." And she shook her head and said, it's just not what I expected. And I smiled. I smiled because I knew what she meant. She didn't expect that a homeless guy would have that kind of talent. And I don't blame her. Why? I mean, we're sort of enculturated that way. We come from this notion that what we see on the outside of people somehow reflects who they are on the inside. So we make these judgments about what quality and caliber they have internally based on what comfort and conveniences they have externally. These Beatitudes really challenge us to reverse that backwards logic. They really do. Because we know it's not true. And yet we make those judgments. We know that Picasso and Van Gogh died penniless, as did Oscar Schindler and Edgar Allan Poe and Herman Melville. Herman Melville, the author of Moby Dick, one of the greatest pieces of literature in human history that provides so much insight into the human nature. These guys all died penniless. And Jesus says to us, stop that. Stop making those judgments. Stop thinking that way. Stop thinking that what you or someone else has externally is a reflection of the gifts they have internally. Jesus, by the way, died broke and broken and humiliated, and people spat on him. The reality is that the true value in life, the big payoff, if you will, comes not from what we have or achieve, but from what we pursue. I'm going to say that again because if you're going to nap through the rest of this homily, that's the thesis right there. The true value of life comes not from what we have or achieve. It comes from what we pursue. Blessed are the meek who are pursuing dignity. Blessed are the peacemakers who are pursuing unity. Blessed are the poor in spirit who are pursuing closeness with God. Blessed are you when you're lost, seeking to be found. It's beautiful and it's wonderful, and it reminds us that life is a journey, and to focus on that journey. Those who seek, find. We're not suggesting that blessed are those who have found comfort, because when we find something, we stop looking for it. We don't say, blessed are those who know the truth, because once we think we know the truth, we stop seeking it. We stop looking for it at a deeper, more profound understanding. Quite a few years back, on my way into a shopping mall back when people still went to shopping malls, someone approached me and asked me if I know God. And my quick answer was, oh gosh, I hope not. Because if I ever think I know this great, vast, infinite, incomprehensible source of all life and love in the universe, and if I ever think I know God, well, I'll stop looking. I'll stop searching. I'll stop going deeper and deeper to understand more profoundly. Blessed are those who are searching for that unity, that oneness, that are pursuing God. For they are being drawn into this deeper, richer, more meaningful relationship. So if you are at all like me, God help you if you are. But if you are at all like me, and you find yourself confused, lost, scratching your head in bewilderment, wondering how to make sense out of all of this, seeking affirmations, hoping to understand God more fully. If you're feeling ever lost and overwhelmed, rejoice and be glad. Rejoice and be glad, Jesus says, because all that means is that you are being drawn, pulled into a deeper, more profound, more meaningful relationship with the wonder and greatness of this God. May the poverty of the pilgrim rain down upon you. May the poverty of the pilgrim stir the heart within you. May the poverty of the pilgrim flow forth from you.